Broadcasting to viewers in Liberia and across the globe. Hello and welcome to KMTV News today. My name is Anthony Kukui. Wherever you're watching us from, we say thanks for joining our news broadcast tonight. Let's take a look at stories making headlines. Montserrat County Senator Darius Dillon says the opposition bloc is going to democratically unseat the CDC-led government come 2023 due to President Weah and his government's inability to deliver to the Liberian people. After heated deliberations, House of Representatives passed into law the 2019-2020 draft national budget. Welcome to KMTV News. We begin at Capitol Building, where members of the House of Representatives, after nearly 2 months of delay and heated deliberations, passed into law the 2019-2020 draft national budget in the tune of $526 million United States dollars. The budget was passed on Tuesday with the national harmonization exercise, which has greatly affected officials of the 3 branches of government. Under the new budget, 2,000 public workers have been included into the current workforce of the country. Jeremiah Kuhn is a co-chair on the committee. He spoke during deliberations in session on Tuesday.
Mr. Speaker, the draft budget came as $532 million from the Ministry of Finance. Having gone through this budget, thorough debate, talking to ministries and agencies, we realized that $7 million could not be realized from the revenue envelope of 532, thereby adjusting the number downward to 526. A total of about 2,000 persons this year is coming on board this government compensation, and we needed to accommodate about 2,000 persons, the 297 number. Because we needed to accommodate these 2,000 plus persons, the higher bracket in the government needed to take the shot. And so there was a 6% again after the harmonized number across all of us sitting in this room to accommodate these people, thereby leaving this plenary. If we were to take pay today, nobody will make $6,000. So we are giving out of the 8,500 we're taking, we are giving about $2,586, thereby dropping us to about 5,800 or 5,900. In the interest of our people. Even the gasoline, Mr. Speaker, we have to cut gasoline by 50% in this budget. This legislature, through the committee, and the communication on this floor endorsed by this plenary, that this program is a national program. The judiciary will reduce by 16% in compensation to accommodate 2,000 plus Liberians that are getting off programs to the payroll. Mr. Speaker, if you converted the 526 into Liberian dollar as the clerk read, in Liberian dollar we are passing, if this plenary endorses this report, we will be passing a budget of 110 billion, 460 million Liberian dollars.
Montserrat County Senator Abraham Darius Dillon says the opposition bloc is hopeful that President George Weah and the CDC will be unseated in the 2023 elections. According to the Montserrat County Senator, the ruling party defeat in 2023 under President Weah's leadership is characterized by his failure and his inability to deliver to the Liberian people. Senator Dillon told a gathering that the numerous failures of the government are glaring and that their democratic approach in the nearby elections will take the country to a good leadership.
In 2023, the dynamic may shift. In 2023, we make a compelling case for why Georgia will not enter that mansion again. But we can't make it crawling like this from the beginning. We get sufficient reason to evict George Weah from the mansion. 2023 election. Sufficient reason. And the reason piling up will do it democratically. The four parties, there's a likelihood that some party will move on the coalition and come on the collaboration. Discussion on the way. Because even in a coalition for democratic change, they only act as Congress for democratic change, not coalition. Let me repeat, even under the coalition for democratic change, they act, think, and behave like Congress for democratic change and not coalition for democratic change. And so there's a likelihood that the coalition will see some cracks.
Meanwhile, Senator Abraham Darius Dillon has highlighted the need for public officials, especially the legislators, to work in the interest of the masses. The Moswara County Senator named the reductions in salary and benefits for lawmakers as the basic tool for their adherence to such call.
You think I get time to be going around, go there, all the minute cost, government salary can be reduced, especially from the legislator? I ain't got anything for that. The Liberian people know who really made the fire. Who really compelled us to do it. You can have on IMF. Akawa can bring all a letter from 10 years ago. The Liberian people know. George Weah said, fool you. Said last year, George Weah lied and said, I reduced my salary by 25%. No citizen under the room know what constitutes 25%. Who here know how much job we are making? So what constitutes 25%? The man with you, he let it go there, he moved 25%. What is it? I can't them running around, we reduce our money by 31%. What is the amount? What constitutes 31%? Not until we went there and put a light on. Nobody can say around and close to an oil near again. Everybody knows what we earn. And we said, we'll take only 5,000 of that money and return the rest to the country and the people. Today at the legislature, the both houses, everybody talking about 5,000 or 5,000 down, we're forcing down the throat. So it's not about whether you get money in your pocket to be lawmaker. It's about your principle and your character, your passion to serve. And that your one voice can change something. We want a whole generation to believe that one voice can change a room, like Barack Obama said. And one room can change a community. And one community can change a state. And one state can change a whole country. And one country can change the world.
Well, let's now move over to Bond County, where a mother of triplets, Edita Benda, is appealing to humanitarians to come to her aid. Edita gave birth to 3 boys in Banga City, Bond County recently and is unable to take care of the triplets due to the abandonment of their father. The struggling mother named food, clothing, and health care as some of the services, that's assistance she wants from humanitarians, including government officials. She spoke to reporters on Monday in Banga City.
No blood. The bottom by you say that 6, 20. They pay Mama, what they put the money they beyond one pass, say, money, for the money like 70,000 or her, you are just for me to me. Mama, cry, my brother, I was there. What have you? Nãy mà gỡ ta là sao là mama wa tani le tada boy your hair boy man ko I nobody get to help me man boy your hair they go say your sala on money le ko sa I
Who are PB hospital then?
PB hospital I say can't to myself kule ko sa it is so good so I tell my boy beg your help me I nobody to help me my father said my father didn't go I no father he's my mama only my mama
Where your children pa?
My children I father they mean tonight la only my mama they father they more so I can't for you to help me man go I if you want to get my mother no food for me to eat what they can do they can be done they go money they worry me power maybe yeah
Venga mwanga mukomati mai ikpo mate ko kulonga kurajo ba kurajo ni karete kwa barete kwa
What are their names, please?
Sadra Nesa Kanempo.
She's Edita Bena, mother of a triplets there in Bone County, calling for humanitarian assistance. Over to the development now. The President of Liberia, President Charles Kofi, has pointed out that the union has taken stand on some unprofessional apples in the Liberian media and has so far named and shamed them. Mr. Kofi said gone are those days where people will see and use the media. The PUA president has therefore challenged the necessary government authorities in the sector to take appropriate action to help save the face of the noble profession.
Despite the media freedom in our country, there is a creeping phenomenon that if there's no remedy, will undermine the development of the media. Embedded journalism, political ownership of media institutions, enemies of the media. They want to take over the role of the media. Some of them are establishing radio stations, using invectives, calling for instability in the country, blackmailing. We should resist all of these attempts. Whenever you pass, listen to the story of the mayor, that when they hear that journalists are around, they think there is trouble. Because few radio stations and other media institutions are polluting the good work that we are doing. We have named 2 media institutions that the PUA consider as destructive tools to society. The Freedom FM, owned by the Deputy National Security Director, Saint Sayon, who we expect to be collecting intelligence for peace and stability in the country. His media institutions being used to wage war on the country, to use invectives and urge people to go and revolt against state authority. The government must take action, because I know the young journalists who lack the fundamentals of journalism, who don't have the adequate capacity to analyze situation, to go on radio. The 2 of them, I don't want to dignify them, that's what I'm calling names, insult the entire world. Invectives on radio. When you talk, they blackmail you. So the media is now being considered in the sight of the public as non-essential. So we must take action collectively. Government must also take action. Bruce Edward is another institution, and he has established the insult process. Other institutions are following that. We have communicated with the Liberia Telecommunication Authority. The press union does not have regulatory power, so we have informed LTA and also formally transmitted a communication to the Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism that in the event that our country degenerates a chaotic situation as a result of the 2 media institutions, like Rwanda, the press union will have no role to play.
The director of Lutheran Malaria Control Program in Bangabong County, Sue Kogba, has stressed the need for pregnant women in the county to always visit health facilities to seek medical treatment for a healthier society. Speaking to KMTV News, Madam Kogba said they are operating in various communities in the county, rendering free services as well as providing drugs for children under 5. She pledged of group's commitment to advocacy, awareness, and prevention in the county.
We work in 30 communities here in Bone County. We are involved with advocacy, prevention, awareness, and building the livelihood of our community people through the village savings and loan. And we also work with students group, we work with community leaders. We are working with 2 facilities here. We provide drugs for children under 5 and pregnant women. And then the next target is the adults. To pregnant women, we are encouraging them to go to the health facility. But most of the time when they go to the health facility, there are no drugs. But with the presence of our project in Bon County and in those communities where we are working, at least the 2 facilities that we are working with, they are always able to have drugs for our children under 5 and pregnant women.
So is the program only in Bon County?
Yes, we used to be in the 14 counties, but because of fundings, now we scaled down to only Bon County. But we hope to be in all parts of this country if we have the fundings. Especially for our pregnant women and for our children under 5, we say sleep under the mosquito net every night and everywhere. And make sure you clean your surroundings. Like if you read our banner, we'll talk about Lassa fever. Personally, we know there's Lassa fever outbreak in the country. So we're also saying that the preventive measures that are being given out to you, you should go by it. That is keeping your drinking water safe in a close container. Wash your dishes. Make sure you always wash it when you're about to eat. Make sure that rats stay away from your home because rat is the carrier of Lassa fever.
Visiting clergymen to Liberia have challenged President George Weah and the government to seek the face of God if the country must succeed. Reverend Siafa Getawet of Senegal and Reverend Eric Wabat of Sheridan are in the country to attend and minister the gospel of Jesus Christ at the 14th anniversary of the Faith Deliverance and Prayer Healing Ministries in Painesville. Speaking to KMTV News upon their arrival at the Roberts International Airport in Madibi County, the men of God admonished Liberians to come under one accord, trusting God to take the country to another level.
Well, I will simply tell him to keep the eyes on the Lord, to allow him to be president of this republic, of this wonderful, awesome nation in West Africa, because it is by God's grace that he's president of this nation. God allowed him to be there, so in order for him to function and take this nation to where God wanted to be, he would have to rely wholly and solely on God's grace. All I can tell the Liberians that are down and out that building take process. Our house is not building the thing. And looking at the history of Liberia and looking back at what happened, you know, we don't want to go back to the grain, like I call it, dig our own goals. What we need to do as Liberians is to look where we are now and where we want to go tomorrow, and then allow God to help us to understand the season that this country is in, and so we can arise and join hands together and move this country forward. Because if this nation will move forward, we as Liberians need to understand the season and join hands with one another and take this nation to the next level.
One of the things I always tell people is that the word of God still stands short. It does not change. And the Bible says that those who trust in the Lord, they shall not be disappointed. And I personally think that this is the time for all of Liberians to come together and call upon the Lord. Instead of crying each other down, instead of trying to pull each other down, we are one. This is the only country we have. So one of the things I want to tell Liberians, come together and seek the Lord. The Bible says righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people.
Over now to sports. Liberia's amputee football national team have arrived in Angola for the 5th edition of the African Cup of Nations for amputee football. The Lone Star amputees are in Angola as defending champions and record title holders to defend their title, having won it in the last 3 editions of the competition. Liberia, the record holders of the competition, having won 3 out of 4 since the inaugural edition was held. According to sports journalist Sylvester Tamba, who traveled with the 18-man delegation headed by Assistant Minister for Sports James Stowe, the team arrived early Wednesday, October 2 in Angola and have also undergone their first training in Angola. And elsewhere in the WAFU Nations Cup, Liberia will now play in the plate competition of the tournament after their 1-0 defeat against Sierra Leone in their first match. Liberia suffered a 1-0 defeat against the Lone Star that dropped them to the plate competition for losers, where they will take on Niger in their next quarter-final match in the plate competition on October 6. And as well, the senior national team headed by head coach Peter James Butler, settled to a 1-1 draw against Botswana in an independent friendly organized by the Botswana Football Association. Liberia was invited by the Botswana FA as part of celebration marking the country's 50th Independence Day celebration. The match ended in a goalless draw. And up next for Liberia is the AFCON 2021 qualifiers against Chad. The first leg at that's the Samarkando Sports Complex on October 9. Well, with that sporting development, that's how we go home on this May week edition of KMTV News today. But before we go, a recap of the headlines. Montserrat County Senator Darius Dillon says the opposition bloc is going to democratically unseat the CDC government comes 2023 due to President George Weah's government's inability to deliver to the Liberian people. After heated deliberations, House of Representatives passed into law 2019-2020 draft national budget. And in sports, Liberia national and petit football team arrived in Angola to begin their title defense in the 5th edition of the African Cup of Nations for petit football. We say many thanks to you for always joining our news broadcast from across the globe. On behalf of the entire news team here, my name is Anthony Kukui. You can also visit our website at www.kmtvliberia.com for more news and information. Until then, good night.